Is your online presence clean and polished, or controversial and questionable? 91% of employers use social media to screen applicants. 27% of college admissions use Google and Facebook to screen applicants, and there are more than 500,000 predators online daily. We all interact with social media daily, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat. But do we ever really think about what we're posting, who we're interacting with, or who we're adding on our page? I have personally gotten in trouble by a former employer for something that I have posted online. My goal today is to persuade you all on why you should watch what you post on social media. It's important to watch what you post on social media for 3 reasons. 1, job purposes. 2, school purposes. And 3, predators. For my first point, job purposes. When doing my research, I found that many people lost their jobs due to what they posted on social media. I read an article about a teacher in Georgia that was asked to resign from their job because of drunken photos and foul language that they were posting on their Facebook page. Having multiple drunken photos will show employers that you are not very professional and that you do not hold yourself in a proper manner, as well as nude photos will cause specific employers to not hire you. Photos with illegal substances and underage drinking will also cause employers to not want to hire you. They will see you as irresponsible and obviously doing something illegal might cause them to report you. Now, if you're working for someone, you should still refrain from saying anything about your employers online. Although it may seem innocent, you could be breaking a non-disclosure agreement that you signed with the employer when hired. Also, statuses will cause you to not get hired. It's not very smart to post a status about how much you hate your job, your employers, or your coworkers. For example, the paper I handed you all shows a funny but not so smart status someone made. It's also not a good idea to call in sick to work or post a picture or status online about how high or drunk you are, especially if you aren't aware that you have your coworkers or your boss online. Posting foul language in almost every status will show your future employer that you're not professional. Bashing coworkers will show that you are also very immature. What you post not only represents yourself, but also represents the company. As for schools, what you post can affect you as a student. When applying to college, it is important for you to present your best self, not only on your application, but also online. Your application will tell admission officers about your interests, the type of student you are, and how well you performed in school. But your online presence will tell admissions officers how you present yourself in public and how your projected image will best fit their particular institution. When doing my research, I read a New York Times article about a school in Maine that did not accept someone because they were attending a campus information session, and while they were at that, they were posting on Twitter, saying bad things about the school that they didn't like, and talking badly about students that were in the group. A lot of students get in trouble for what they post online, such as bullying a student or even a teacher. The hateful words you post can lead to violence, suicide, depression, and discrimination amongst the student body. If you're applying for grad school, you should clean up your profile some because their eyes might move directly from your application to your Facebook page. If you're an athlete, it's the same thing. Just like applying for a job, the same purposes apply if you're an athlete. I'm not sure if many of you remember or even heard about this, but there was a Louisville cheerleader that got kicked off the team and also expelled from the school for naked photos that had been posted of her online. Although she did not post them, it still affected her. What athletes post or are tagged in not only represents them, but it also is representing the team. As for predators, who are we really interacting with on social media? I would hope by now that we are all old enough to be cautious of who we're interacting with on social media. 1 in 5 U.S. teenagers who use internet says they have received an unwanted sexual solicitation. A sex offender statistics site states that there are over 7,500,000 registered sex offenders in the United States, and 75% of children are willing to give out personal information or goods for services. It's important to be careful with who we chat with online, as well as who we give our personal information to. It's easy for anyone to make a fake profile, but what we don't realize is that we should be protecting our identity a little better online, such as making our profiles private so no one can steal our photos or any personal information that we have. I'm sure you all are aware of the MTV show called Catfish. If not, it's a show about people who have never met with who they're talking to online. Many of those people on that show have made fake profiles to interact with other people, which is why we should be more cautious not only with our privacy settings, but who we're talking to. Whether your profile is public or not, be careful with your location settings because it's so easy nowadays for people to post your exact location, and you never know who might be looking at your page at that time. To wrap things up today, I persuaded you all as to why it's important to watch what you post on social media. I have discussed why it is important to watch what you post online for 3 reasons: job purposes, school purposes, and predators. I hope that I have persuaded you all to be more careful when online and to not be the person who doesn't get accepted for a job because of